two-site self-watering cocoa system here. Let's crack open this bad boy and check it out. Grow bags. So in all, we got 5 fabric pots. Bam. Well, that's pretty sick. There's a little Spider Farmer insignia right there. That's pretty cool. There's 5 poles. There's the feet. It looks like a valve, a ball valve here. Reservoir. Been dying to see what these things look like. Directions, saucers, and some water tables there. That is pretty awesome. We have the Spider Farmer insignia logo right there. Whoa. Self-watering site here with a base. One self-watering site here. Let's assemble the reservoir bladder here. There we go. This thing is gonna help out a lot. You know, when I was running cocoa pots, even the fabric pots, it was always a challenge trying to figure out how I'm going to elevate these sites high enough to where I could just drain water through them, which is why I always ended up doing stuff like this. We have all of the product lists and the parts components here. Set it up according to the instructions. You're going to connect these support T's here into each other. Connect them to the underside of the tabletop here. This supports the weight of the plant and elevates it off of the saucer. Snap them onto underneath of the lid. Man, this is pretty sick. Look at this. We have a hose here. Feels like a nice solid silicone tube here. T's and grommets and barbs right here. A rope here. This is basically our bulkhead grommet. We're going to connect this to the reservoir. Make sure you have one of these seals on the inside and the outside to create a nice seal between the container. You're going to take your foot and insert it through the sleeve on the bag right here. Place your foot. Let's take our shutoff valve here, spin this filter cap off, pull the seal off right here. We're going to install this ball valve, shutoff valve here onto the reservoir container here. You screw this filter cap back on tight. Our overflow fitting here. Our threaded nut, screw that back on. Install your rubber grommet provided in the bag right here. Install your T into the rubber grommet. Bam. Take your lid, put it on top of the base. Wham. Open the cap here. Remove the styrofoam here. Woo! That's pretty slick. Take your silicone line and connect it to the ball valve right there. Connect to our box to the reservoir. Connect the outlet in the module to the silicone line. Make sure the nut on the inside of this cup is tight. Connect our silicone pipe right here to one of the bases. Connect the other end of that silicone pipe to the other end of that T. Connect the other end of this silicone tube to the T on the other pot. Cut a length of tube off of the remaining silicone line. We're going to install our stopper. Insert the tube through the stopper nut. This is where we're going to end the water supply. Put the barb into the silicone line like that. Push it down and tighten it up. Take the other end of this and put it on the end of the barb on your last pot. All right, the Spider Farmer fabric pot self-watering site kits are basically designed to require zero power and no water pressure in the system at all. It basically just relies on gravity and the ingenuity within the system design to facilitate the automatic watering process here using the fabric pots. So ensure that everything is flat on the ground and installed properly. Bam. That's pretty sick. Installed the Spider Farmer fabric pots. One here and one right here. So this layout here is essentially what I'll be running the entire system as. Water reservoir off to the side, cocoa fabric pots here, self-watering sites right there. Let's do this. Let's fill it up with water. Gravity fed goes through this line here, through the control module and the float valve, and waters the plants from the base up over here. Water starts coming out over here. It's going to fill up this saucer here and then work its way over here to the following pots. And the water is never going to get any higher than the control module here. I want to see how everything kind of operates before I start tinkering with anything. It's going to buy me insurance in the fact that I'm not going to have to worry about coming home to dead plants if I'm a couple hours late coming home. Sounds like it's draining into here. And after this one filled up over here on the right, we're starting to get a little bit of water over here on the following pot. The last part of our system we're going to set up is the wicking fabric cotton rope here. Pull that out. Lace the rope through the lid here. This is where we're going to get our wicking action up from the water, the base of that water, up to our fabric pots. So I'm going to go all the way over on mine because my pots are, I want to say there was 5 or 6 gallons right there. I want to span the entire thing there. Take the rope from the other one, put it through one of the Spider Farmer legs right there, put the other end of the rope through the other Spider Farmer leg, pull that taut. You want it to be even all the way around. You don't want one side significantly longer than the other. That's what we have right there. We have our wicking action rope here feeding the bottom of the fabric pot. I'm curious to see how well this is going to work. Without the lid installed, I have a water. It's roughly up to the top right there of the grommet. Same thing on this side. There are no leaks. Everything is pretty, self-explanatory in the sense that we're using gravity and the wicking action of, cotton to feed the bottom of the pot. Just like that. Again, we're going to take the end of the rope, put it through the leg. If you have smaller size pots, or you want to install the ropes according to the size of your pot. If your pot is smaller, you're going to want to use the inner holes here for a smaller pot. Just like that. That looks pretty dang even to me. We're going to see exactly here in a few minutes. I'll come back on camera and see what that looks like. That's going to be interesting. I've actually never used the technique of wicking up water with cotton or fabric to feed the plants. Pretty excited about this, honestly. The fabric cotton rope wicks up the water, and the cocoa essentially wicks it all up. They just kind of feed into each other. That's how you set up, and that's how the self-watering system works. I'm going to put an air stoner right here to kind of keep it aerated. We don't want any water sitting stagnant in this area right here. I'm excited to see how well it actually, the cocoa absorbs the moisture through that rope, through this watering system here. I'm about to put this system to the test, that's for sure. All right, guys, you guys let me know what you think about this system. This is the Spider Farmer SF self-watering system right here. You guys let me know what you think about this system. Yay or nay, do you think it's going to work? If it works, how well? You guys let me know what you think. I'm curious to hear your guys' opinion. All right, guys, Hygro Hybrid, peace out. I'll catch you in the comment section below. Woo! Peace.